I was just like, oh shit, because I forgot to put on the I had the cover on here, so I was just like, oh crap. Hold on, let's ooh, because it's a little like hazy. So hey, what's going on and stuff? What happened? Oh brother, this is bad dope. Oops. Okay. So okay, now my allergies want to come out. It's pretty close. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Okay, all right, let's do this. Let's do this situation. It is crazy on how people, on how my gang stalkers watch me, and I see like a little one person pop up, and it might not be that person who gave me, who's a supporter. It might actually just be one of the people paid to monitor me. It's so wild. It's so creepy. It's so like, don't you have something better to do? Be different. Be a good person. No. Alas, yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So hello and things of that nature. Feel like a toddler. Oh my gosh, I went to Target and I bought don't judge me, but I bought a potential Barbie dress. It is this color. I just felt so cute, like a doll. It reminded me of the Barbie that I had when I was a little kid. She had green, dark green, jeweled eyes. Not like I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to be like I'm not trying to exaggerate on the detail. Like it was actual jeweled eyes. It was the fake jewels, but it was like a really pretty jeweled eye. And yeah, she had her nice little hair. It was like pressed and whatnot like that. And she had a silver dress, and it didn't have the ones I see now have like a tulle towards like a bodycon kind of dress. And I'm just like, it really doesn't like look nice. But I do remember that it was attachable. So I'm really, oh man, it made me want to buy it. I just might have it as like a collecting item, even though, I'm just kind of like putting on right now, Lord knows, are more than likely will, put it. Yeah, if I had a child, even if I don't have a child, like I just might, just I don't know, have it somewhere, like have it somewhere and just hang it like on a shelf, because I do have some Sailor Moon kind of memorabilia that I have like in storage right now, so I could just put that over there with that. Oh my god, that actually is a great idea. That's awesome. I think we'll do that. We'll buy the Barbie, have it next to my Sailor Moon collection stuff. Oh yeah. I'm about that life. I'm gonna do that. Okay. So it's the final countdown to the 4th of July, Independence Day. If you celebrate it, then okay. And if you don't, hey, what's up? Like, I mean, obviously it like it's really on one. It's oh man, the way how I just really, back this country, not knowing how how they are behaving in modern days, and how it's just a lot of stuff that's just like crap, just full of crap. Anyway, this video right here is it's called Pew Pew versus Bang Bang. I wanted to do something in regards to, I'm sorry, it's really late right now. It's 11:49. I just ate. I didn't eat anything like substantial this entire day. Well, I had like breakfast and then that was it, and I had just like some ice. And I wasn't like intentionally. I had a bunch of errands to run, as I said during the video earlier. And when I went out, I didn't get an opportunity to take some time to eat something until like maybe less than an hour ago. So yeah, here I am, and oh god, I hate the little gnats. And here's a video. Okay. All right, here we go. The reason why I did pew pew versus bang bang is because um, the other day and today I was mentioning about how my mouth is pretty much when it comes to I like to balance things out. When somebody's I don't have to do full tit for tat, but I obviously don't want you to think that I'm a pushover. So depending on how you come at me and if you keep coming at me, I can be I can be a how do I put this? There can be two versions if you joke with me because some people who want to joke with me can actually be like, sincere. They can be very genuine, like, oh, this is like a playful kind of just kicking the shit with you. And that kind of stuff when I was growing up, like, I can understand people who want to do that. Just to kind of see like where your head is at and just, like no harm and no harm in it. And I'm like, yeah, sure, like that's totally fine. And I was the tallest girl, like, during every grade up until like high school. So, I had to kind of say something. Plus, I was pretty, and sadly, that was the way how the boys wanted to like, pick on girls. But I wasn't buying it. I was just like, look, I'm gonna say something right back to you. Um, and you know how when you have something to say to your to your parents when they really want to piss you off, but you don't say anything because you don't want to, you don't want the reprimands back. So all those kind of things, plus, who I was surrounded by, it influenced me with, having like comebacks and things of that nature. I grew up around boys, even though I was like, ballet and stuff like that. Plus, again, like I was told. I didn't do sports, but I was like, I was into like badminton, like little light stuff, basically. But I was mostly into the other stuff, like jazz tap dance for years and years and years. I digress. The point is growing around, having brothers on, my mom's side, growing up around boys, literally like it was my mom, my grandmother. So that had, the masculine energy of the strong female, the single motherhood kind of situation. And then on top of that, I had my uncle there. He was a soft sweetheart, quiet one. And I also had I had my younger brother, and then I had other brothers on my dad's side, and um, they, and then also my dad, who was the sensitive one. So, and my half sister, she was like a tomboy initially, and so she like kind of grew out of it. So it was just, and then I had my cousins who would come by the house from the islands, and they were feminine, but it was just like I would rarely. But my grandmother was she was a strong like she had that masculine energy, but she also had feminine energy, and that's where I kind of like like I guess like both fire signs, like we gelled, so that was nice. But yeah, like for the most part, I can switch between both, as you guys have involuntary. I mean, not voluntary. Like how as you guys have seen, um, without my permission. But yeah, so uh, I say all that because um, that was the kind of personality I had, where it's just like I had grew up around my uncles. So again, I've cut off my family. Like it's crazy on how these assholes are willing to like really talk negatively and down to me, especially well, behind my back, because only one said some smart shit to me, and I humbled his little fucking ass. Quizzic, okay? But that's just the thing. This is why I have this video, pew pew versus bang bang. My mouth. Okay, I've got it honest. I got to tell you, I've got it honest. But it's just like it's fair. It's very fair. Somebody who's very polite and kind when she needs to be. Like I'm not nice. I'm kind. Okay, I'm polite. All right, but I don't like when people think that they can just try to use me as somebody who they can poke at, which is why they say a lot of the shit that they said behind my fucking back. And You can tell about the energy on, like, how I speak of these people or refer to these people in a way where it's just like, at the end of the day, you won't identify me as a hater, because whatever you're actually good at, I will call you out for. But there are people who obviously don't like me and they'll just hate me for everything. They won't even acknowledge anything. And it's not like I look for it. It's just that it's unprovoked. And I'm just like, I want my words and my opinion to be respected. So I don't want to say something that's bad. Oh, that looks bad, when it actually, I would think that it looks good. And then, say that something that's similar to it looks good, but then be like, oh, well, then you say that that looks bad. So, like, I want to be the person who's going to, and I want to be caught up. And I feel I'm more of a reciprocal kind of person. I will want the same kind of respect. I don't get that, obviously, especially not all the time, but it was just like, you know, I don't really fucking care about them. It's what matters with me. Okay. That's all I can worry about. It's just me. So yeah, pew pew bang bang. This is basically my way of kind of showing, because I've explained before, like, people don't like my mouth. And this is the reason. Well, I've explained that people talk behind my back, and so I wanted to give you a reason why. Because I've had a moment, obviously, where I had to single handedly just like speak up for myself. I will say this, that some of my followers did volunteer to speak up for me, but I was just like, I'm the kind of person who was just like, no, no, no. This is between me and somebody else. So I would want you to get behind me. Okay. I mean, if you want to, go ahead and volunteer in a group chat or something like that, then, speak up for me. Thank you. I appreciate it. But if there's an opportunity for somebody to, for me and somebody who I address to speak to me, oh, well, then yeah, this is how it's going to be. Even if they're little trolls and stuff like that try to come for me, I've handled years ago, when I was like, what, 2016, 2015, years ago. I was like single-handedly bop, 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 bop. And they were just so fucking insecure and so fucking stupid that they weren't like willing to acknowledge. They had to like do that whole put on, like, save a face, laugh it off, and then end up crying in front of a bunch of their followers on videos, or being in the group chat just kind of like bitching and trolling and trying to like trash me, but then also kind of sneaking in the moment where they needed a fucking a fucking blanket for, the words that I had said back to them, because they started it. They started it. So I mean, naturally, it is just it's only fair. You know what I mean? It's only fair that if you come for me, like, I feel obligated, I feel invited, if I want to, because I won't address everybody and I won't address things all the time. But it was just like, hey, look, why not? Since you're here, and since it's like doing an errand that's on the way. It's just like, this doesn't inconvenience me. Bring it. Yeah. But pew pew bang bang is, I had mentioned today. Yeah, it's 11:58. So I mentioned today and the other day about, people are just such punk ass bitches. Like, my abusers had the audacity to talk behind my back, and they started shit when I was nothing but just a plus to them. And I, wanted to just, tell them no. It's crazy. I'm like, even moments where it was just like, hey, look, I can't do it. Or if I say it in a polite way, like, no, I just really can't do it. Or, hey, I have time for this, but I can't do this for you. Woo! Oh man. Most of the time they would say like some slick shit, and I'm just like, well, you know what? That would be like my note to not do anything for you after that point. I'm like, yo, noted. That was always my catchphrase. It was just like, noted, because it really will be noted. And like, this is why I decided to like withdraw myself from you in situations, and this just goes for a lot of people. And other times when people weren't saying anything slick, they would just kind of like smile in my face, but like you can feel that it was disingenuous. They'd be like, oh, okay, that's okay. And like you can feel like, no, 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 that they don't like it. And now fast forward, um, they've been talking shit behind my back. So this is insane. If let me give you an example. I went to school at like one of the most prestigious fashion schools that's in the country, and it's my first year, and I'm swamped at my experience. I went to college during the summer when I was in high school, and then I took college courses when I was in high school. Um, like again when I was in high school, and but being immersed in college and living on campus and all this other kind of stuff. Plus, I had to work part time, which I didn't. I mean, I worked a little bit. I had an internship, a paid internship when I was in high school, but I had to work, and I was like exhausted, and I was, out of the state. So my uncles would visit my grandmother because she was raising my little brothers. And ever since I was a little girl, and I mean since elementary school, I used to take my grandmother out of her diabetic blackouts. If like her sugar was like I think either too high or too low, because I don't want to quote which one. Um, she would just go like you could tell like everything wasn't right. And it was kind of work her through it. I remember one time I was in class and or on my way to no, I was on my way to class, and my uncle had called me, and he was just like oh, he was freaking out because he didn't know what to do. It was like it was that serious. Like not that her situation was that serious, but it was like that serious about my position within, the family, because like I was the one that was taking her out of her blackouts. Like even not even mom knew what to do. I was the one that was helping my grandmother. So I was just like, well, she has, papaya pills. Why don't you give those to her and stuff like that? And just like, keep me posted, call me back. And those works. And um, after that class, I took a train and I took a cab and I got to the house and I checked up on my grandmother. And I kept taking, whenever I had like any breaks, I went down to check up on my grandmother. I was also kind of like talking to a guy while down there. I was like, hey, look, make a little bit of fun. You feel me? But it was the guy who had I was talking to like right before I was about to go to college anyway. So, but yeah, so just hanging out with my grandmother. She seemed very lightened, like her mood got lightened when I was around. But when I got away, like back up in school, like it was hard to juggle all that. So that really kind of like distracted me. I mean, all the responsibilities was just really distracting, and my stuff went down. One phone call I had got from my uncles was the eldest one, who was very fucking cocky and disgusting. He was just like, in the sense of like, how dare you like leave us to do this? Like, you should be here helping us. I'm 18 years old. You're 40 something or like 40. Are you fucking kidding me? That's wild. It's things like that with family. Another one is when like siblings want me to like hang out, and I'm like I'm on limited means, and eventually people were setting me up to take money away from me. Like with my father, he wanted me to co-sign a vehicle for him, and then he stiffed me. Again, I have that video on another channel. If you look on pardon me, if you look on my website, I have a link to the other channel that just kind of has a link to the Love Bees Honey kind of stuff. So because I don't want people to get confused, so I figure I do Love Bees Honey here and then lovebeeshoney.com videos to just kind of boom there. And the video is basically me asking for my freaking car. Like technically I had, co-signed that car. So it was just me asking for the car back. I'm just like, look, if you will get it, I was like, I think it was mostly like the conversation like, look, you will get this car back once you start making payments. And he was just like, Shalise, I don't think I'm like, no, you instead of making payments, you went to Atlantic City with your girlfriend who excuse me, with your mistress now girlfriend, um, and then also got a DUI, and you have like the little DUI machine connected to it. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So you didn't pay for the car insurance, you didn't pay for the car payments. You're fucking on my credit, and you. At first, I was hesitant, so I'm also telling you guys like, don't do that ever. With like, just always trust your instinct. But I was just like, nigga, the fuck. And after that, I separated myself where I was just like, I was really upset with him to the point where I didn't want to talk to him. And he made it worse by victimizing himself in front of the family, to the family. Like, oh, she's not talking to me and stuff like that. Nigga, I had to pay thousands of dollars for a debt so that way it can get off of my fucking credit score. Like you fucked it up considerably. And so he had he was just doing too much fucking talking instead of apologizing and paying me. So what I did was that I put him in a group chat because my siblings happened to want to try to include me in like a public kind of situation where it was just like um it just kind of alluded to some pettiness. And so I included everybody in a group chat. I think it was like Colleen and Marquita, definitely Marquita in it because she went to get snippy. And I was like, oh, do we have a problem? And she was like, she had said something and I was just like, but she didn't say anything again. So if I have it somewhere, I'll show it to you. Anyway, Mark, that's his name, was getting really too big in his britches and was trying to act like, he's been like one stellar father that was there for like my whole life. I'm just like, hold on, like let's keep it a buck. Like, I can itemize the things you have done and the things that you failed to do. So let's start there. Let's talk about your responsibilities as a father. Like, yo, you want to get a pat on the back for responsibilities that you did for busting a nut in my mother, nigga? Like, you want me to thank you for things that you are obligated to do? Your fulfilled situations, because if you didn't do it, then you would have had to go into court. And let's not actually let's not act like you also weren't trying to suck up to my mother, because I remember for years and years and years, and then afterwards that she had passed away, you was just like, oh yeah, I love you so much, like she would never take me back. Like, yeah, because she's a womanizer, like, nigga. It's just so many things, but like, my mouth, like, you start something and you take it too far, and it gives me the invite, if I wanted to take it there, to just like let you know that I don't want you thinking, because there's a lot of people who do an inch and a mile, obviously. So it's just like, let me just say this. And if you have anything else to say, which typically they don't, it's just like, okay then. So it's not to hurt your feelings, but it's at least for you to know where I stand. Okay? Because as Taurus Mars, I can keep going. So it's just like, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? You feel me? Like, what do you want to do? Like, let's just make sure that we're on the same fucking page, because you started it with me. So rules are rules. How do you want to take it? What are you doing? How do you want to take it there? Okay then. So yeah, pew bang bang. Here we go. I you know so when I was saying, like, people were talking behind my back, and people still are talking about behind my back, I have recently come across some triangulation. And as you know, I'm a person who likes to provide examples when it comes to explaining anything, especially when it comes to matters like this. I mean, I have that whole like kind of judicial kind of sense to it. Like, not judicial. I have a more litigious personality, so it's just like I like to have supportive evidence or material or content. Um, Plus, I'm a visual learner, and I feel like for a lot of people that they're visual learners too. Anyway, the energy that people kind of give off, well, no, the energy that people give off when they're talking behind the scenes, someone like that, is this. It's really like this. It's like that with your bitch ass. Like, you have to say it when that person walks away. Like, you don't say it when that person's like, there. Like, you're smiling in the face. You're just like, like, you're not being 100. So you have to wait for that person to walk away, and then you're like, what's your bitch ass? And that's the personality that these people are in the group chats, and in my environment that had cut off. Well, that were in my environment, but had cut it off. Oh, look at that. On the truth. All right, so hold on for a minute. I figured that this would just be a nice little opportunity uh, to kind of show you guys. Let's make sure I don't have any more content. So I wanted to kind of show you guys exactly, like, I don't know. I was expecting somebody to fucking, like, you know, say something to my face. The only person who did try to say something to my face was my half sister, and even then, she just kind of, you know, shut it the fuck up, and she ended up crying on her birthday. I'm just like, well, like, you know, like, you're having beef with me unprovoked, so like, this is not one of those moments where you can try to spin it off and call me like a narcissist. I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm addressing a narcissist. This person has literally unprovoked infiltrated my privacy, hacked into my systems, and started shit with behind my back, slandered me, said God knows what, um, lied, stolen my identity, a whole lot of other fuck shit. So I'm just like, yeah, you should be glad that, you know, the most that I've done to you so far has been like putting you in your fucking place. And supposedly it made that bitch cry. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is like really fucking pathetic. I hate this shit. So yeah, this is the reason why people are we talk about me. And I'm just gonna give you some examples of what that is. This right here, like I said, like if what in 2016 or something like that, somebody was like somebody who had like a lot of followers was really trying to, you know, go at it and try to joke or crack jokes on me. And I say a few words back, and all of a sudden, this person is trying to make a movement. I shit you not. They made a movement about big foreheads. The girl made a video and she was crying. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just one person. But honestly, apparently my mouth is just that impactful where it puts people in their damn feelings. But you guys started it. So I'm just like, well, what the? I don't understand. Like, it's just like, why start something then? And this is why you have to talk behind my back. It's just like, well, why start something? And another reason why I did this video is because, again, there's enough flying monkeys and punk ass bitches that they're going to try this with other fucking people. I shit you not. Not only that, but people have really felt entitled to mess with my boundaries and still like kind of talk shit. So it's just like, it's about time that you guys are not listening, which is understood. But that doesn't mean that on my, like, you know, on my part, that's going to inconvenience me. It's not. If anything at all, I'm just going to fucking dog walk you, basically. It's just like you are acting like a damn stray and you are lockjawed on me. Now I am a charitable woman, okay? I have two former sheltered pets, and I've taken up strays and sent them, you know, to places so that they can be housed and taken care of. So when I have bitches come to me unprovoked, wanting to start shit and bark at me, it's just like, you know what? You won't go away. So how about I grab you with the fucking leash? Since you don't wanna let me go, whenever you go, I want people to just know this is this bitch that is really fucking trying it. Okay? Like, I don't have to address you every single time. You feel me? You're gonna have that fucking label that you've crossed my boundary, and this is who you are. This is your label. This is what I've identified you. You and your fucking supporters and everybody else. So this is your spot. And for people who have literally fell victim to this too, or in the future, I want you guys to, you know, if you want to, just, you know, kind of have that kind of mentality when it's like you have bitches that really just don't want to leave you alone because they're trying to overhear, trying to provoke you. And it's just like I've been patient with you, and you took it the wrong way because you're a stupid bitch for one. But it's just like you took it the wrong way because you just You were trying you confused me for somebody that I obviously am not. Like, so here we are. All right, so let's go. Pew pew bang bang. One of the things that people were talking about was like, and they're trying to be cute about it. It was like childhood trauma. So I don't mind talking and discussing about like, well, actually, I mean, I kind of do mind. It just really has to be on like to who. But what happened to me is what happened to me. It's not like I went out on the street and was just like, oh, somebody harmed me. No, it's just like it happened and I moved through it. Like the people who are abusing me are trying to like make me feel like try to make me feel like shit on stuff that happened to me as a kid. And I'm like, no. As you can see, as I showed you, like, I still excel. I still was, a good person and all that other kind of shit. So it's just like, it just looks bad on you for trying to, for you trying to trigger something out of me. Childhood triggers, that they were been trying to bring up, and I only had two. So it's just like, like you just really pathetic. And people and my abusers trying to say like, "Oh, I'm gonna pray for you," like and like saying like fake sympathy and whatnot like that. I'm like, pardon me. My reply to that is, my God is not your God. Obviously, whatever God you pray to get your earthly possessions, I know exactly what you did for those things, and my God doesn't do that. Like my God doesn't give you those earthly possessions for doing the ugly things that you've done. So you don't have to pray for me. We don't have the same God. My God also, doesn't believe in punishing me or having me do tests. The thing that's man-made situations. So again, my God is a loving God. My God loves me. My God would not try to put me through these kind of conditions. The second here and the third. But when people try to say some shit like, I'm gonna pray for you, I'm just like, don't do that. You and I don't have the same fucking God. Obviously because of like, your attitude. And yeah. And it doesn't seem like, your earthly possessions are a permanent situation. They don't even make you fucking happy. So that's okay. I don't need you to pray for me. You should pray for yourself. Because obviously you just seem like a bitter bitch who's not fulfilled, who has the fake happiness. But that's your God, not mine. Don't do that, sweetie. Obviously, like you're very dark and tainted, so that's okay. I have my own light. Whatever I'm going through right now, it's at the hand, like with the helpful hands of you. But I don't need you to utter anything about me when it comes to like praying for me. Disgusting. That would basically be like my response to that. And that for me, that's kindness. And that's the thing, like I don't even try to like go after people when it comes to like I don't. I think that's probably the trick, where it's just like I just say what it is that needs to be said, and I don't try to go out of my way to like say anything offensive or harm you. I'm just like, I'm just saying what I observe. I'm just saying what it is. And somehow people just want to bitch and moan. I'm just like, okay, I don't understand this. Like you saying that you're trying to fake your sympathy and be like, oh, I'm gonna pray for you. I'm just like, don't do that. It's okay. I see how you get your things, your earthly possessions. That's all right. You don't have to pray for me. I know exactly what you have to do in order to get that. So no, thank you. We don't have the same God. I'm good. And just left it at that. And just left it at that. Because that would allude to the things that they do, which is lie, steal, cheat on people, and sexually, with their partners, and also just maliciously, criminally, you know, with family and friends and such like that. So, like when it comes to like intentions and malicious intentions, so I'm just like, no, you don't have to do that. No, I don't even say thanks. It's just like, you have to do that. I know exactly. You don't have to do that. Dresses and revealing clothing to attract men, shows off their body and can't. Hold on. Let's just break this down. Because this was some of the things that I heard. Unprovoked. Dresses and revealing clothing to attract men. I want to go back in time to see like some of the things that you see me in the morning in the daytime dressed like. Very simple clothing, okay? Like it's insane. This right here is a cute little dress that I wore with sneakers. Okay, it's like a nice little summer dress, and it's not even that. It's not even. Oops, sorry, because I'm like pulling it back. But yeah, it's not even that too tight. Like, hold on. Boom, boom, boom. Look at this. Look at this. So yeah, no. This is a cute like skirt that comes above the knee, and I wore it with like pardon me, with some Reebok sneakers. It's so cute. At least I felt cute and it was cute. But yeah, it's weird for somebody to be like clothing to attract men, and I'm just like I'm celibate. So I mean, I don't mind like having to be greeted by an attractive man, but if I said that I'm celibate, like why would you think that I would want to try to be a tease? I look good for me. I have so many things that's kind of in my planner. I'm open to dating, but it's just like hello. Plus I'm hot. Excuse me. I mean I'm gonna say hot. But I am attractive. So it's just like, come on, hello and goodbye. Why would I waste these years? Especially considering how much and how long people have been being such fucking haters and cock blockers and whatnot like that. If I happen to get like a meow from somebody, it's just like, okay. But you sound really stupid when you're and sound really stupid, sound like you're a looking ass bitch. Cause I do believe I cut you off a long time ago. And so like how would your looking ass know that what I do? Obviously. And you also don't sound like you were paying attention. So that's why I said stupid ass bitch, because I clearly said I was celibate. Like, yo, I'm not over here trying to like tell anybody. I literally dress for myself. I like to switch it up. Sometimes I do, I'm more feminine some days, and sometimes I just feel like, just masculine more days, depending on what kind of tasks I do. It's just me. I wing it, and you hate that. Not you all, but like, some people hate that. My abusers, they hate that, but it sucks for them because they either have, if you see their Instagrams or something like that, I'm pretty sure that they be dressing more provocative and they be having like these poses and stuff like that. I hardly take pictures. So that's how I know that it's projecting. Like it's nothing but projections. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm like, stop it. I have to smile like, yo, because it's like I see through the bullshit. It's like, yo, like you really, y'all just be so crazy. I'm like, stop. Like, yo, you're dressing and revealing clothing to attract men. Like, stop it. You projecting horror. Stop it. You're talking about yourself. Stop it. But I know you like me. I know you like me. Shows off their when they talk about me, shows off their body and can't keep a relationship or a job. Ooh. Okay, so how would I reply to that one? Shows off their body. I don't understand like when did I have a moment that I show off my body? Again, that's projections. Okay, that's projections. Who needs to be always showing themselves and whatnot like that? Avi, because again, I hardly show. Actually, if you look at my Twitter, like a lot of my outfits and stuff like that, I'm just like definitely more like clothes and stuff like that. Like you don't see revealing things, and I'm not going for the girls who show um body stuff like that. Like, honey, please, yes, what, yes, do that, do that, do that, do that. No, because I do like that. I think that's like aesthetically pleasing. If you look at my Tumblr, like that shit is cute. So that is nice. But I'm just saying, I don't dress like that. Yes, maybe one day. Back in the day, I used to wear like more form fitting things, but not like have my the things out. But like, yeah, it's just wild. That's when that again, it's a hater. You're a hating ass bitch. No, stop that. Stop that. Come on, quit it. Quit it. Quit it. This is my leash, my imaginary leash. Quit it. Okay? God. You hating ass bitch. All right. And can't keep a relationship or a job. Wow. I've been at my position for a few years. Okay. And then formally before then, I was at another job. And uh what is it? Oh, for a very long time, because of my choice, I was working for a staffing agency. I just like the fact that I got to be at different places, and I like the change and whatnot like that. So that was good. And I had used that opportunity to go from New Jersey to New York when I was living in New York for temporary for a bit. I think it was like, yeah, for like a year or a little over a year. So that was nice. And it's so crazy that somebody, well, and where I work at now, is a prestigious place, and I've been working there for a few years. So that's a permanent position. So I'm just, it's just funny that that was said. Pardon me, and can't keep a relationship or a job. Again, business, business. So about that, when I was with a staffing agency, because again, I was trying to, I had so many other responsibilities, and I wanted to see what kind of career or industry was good for me in the staffing field. Like with the staffing agency, which is what that gives you. It gives you the opportunity to feel like, okay, well, what kind of careers or jobs can I find within this department or this industry? And I initially had started within the pharmaceutical industry, and that was pretty cool for a Japanese pharmaceutical company. So, like, really, really young. Pardon. Actually, before then it was with ETS, and then from there it was a Japanese pharmaceutical company. And then I went back to ETS in Princeton, where I had like a higher position, but that was still staffing. And then I had went because I was doing pharmaceutical for a very long time. Pardon me again. And then I had transitioned into banking, and not like banking, but like what was it? AIG, not AIG. That's it. Oh my god, it was just a few of them, but yeah, I liked it. Point that needs to be made is just that me doing staffing agencies since the young age of 20 inspired the person to make that comment on me to be a traveling nurse, because I was just like, you would get like, a lot of money. So what is being a traveling nurse but staffing, like, a staffing agency kind of situation and position? And to feel like, for this person to publicly announce that they're just tired of working, and they're just, tired, like, oh, how much longer do I have to be a nurse, or like how much longer do I have to work and stuff like that. And that's all well and good, but bitch, know where you come from. You feel me? Like, you were the one that, of course, you were inspired by me. Because it was always, oh, I can do that, but I want to try to do that better. Like, that it was literally, as you can see and exemplify, and you'd be like, yeah, like once you see it, you'd be like, yeah, that's kind of creepy. So it's just like, how you coming? How you coming? You feel me? Like, now you look more like like a little silly bitch. Okay, you see this? You see that? That's you. That's you. That's your stupid bitch. That's you. There you go. There you go. This stupid bitch. So yeah, you know, you're over here trying to comment and trying to downgrade me, but it's just like, when it comes to the flying monkeys, like, you're over here trying to downgrade me, trying to pick at me, and it's just like, but Yolita, you can't try to insult me without insulting your fucking leader, or you can't insult me, bitch, without fucking insulting yourself. And then also bringing up the fact that you were inspired by me because I did staffing agency, and so you wanted to be a traveling nurse. I swear, you hate to love me. You do. You hate to love me, but you love me. All right. So yeah. In addition to that, oh, with can't keep a relationship. Actually, sweetheart, considering that, okay, firstly, I have dated just a minimum people. Okay, I have not been the person, as compared to you. Wait, hold on. Actually, am I finished with the whole party where it was like, can't keep a job, considering that I'm still at my job. And if I want to go ahead and explore other options with my position, or outside of this position, I can do that, because it's the modern ages right now. We don't have to stay at a job for 20 to 30 years. No disrespect to people who have. It's just that, because that retirement, I'm telling you, if they got the benefits, yes. Mwah. But it's like, yeah, it's okay to move around. And I started off being, with staffing agency, so I have no problem with doing that. I have no regrets with having to be at like different kind of places and being like, oh yeah, like that's really cool. It definitely makes excellent conversation, especially considering that there are different within a different department and within the entire campus. I can always keep up conversations because I've yeah, I've had experience. So like I don't understand. People just be insulting themselves. They really do. They really do. And I wanted to just, show that. Because it's just like, why should I allow you to just think that, you got off on something? It's like that reference to Letter from Birmingham, the one done by Martin Luther King, when he said that, if I respond and answer to every freaking critic, then my assistants would just, have a field day with that. We'll just, be busy with that. But since this is kind of like on topic, and since basically you're the lucky niggas today, basically, even though they were right, he was like, winner, winner, chicken fucking dinner. You guys will be responded to accordingly, and it ended up being a historically prominent, notable message, letter, um, correspondence decades later. I mean, not decades later, but for decades now. So I just, this is not my moment to try to address every single dog that barks. But I wanted to just show you, because you guys provided a recent example of your insecurities and how you want to still be miserable bitches. And I'm just like, well, instead of me just saying the statement that I had, instead of leaving the statement of people are talking shit behind my back because they don't like the way how I speak to them directly, when they bring shit my way. It was something in a recording, like according to that. It was basically like, yo, people don't like my fucking mouth because objective is to be a continuing menace. It's not even just like a one-time thing. Because sometimes if you're just like a one-time kind of person, it's just like, okay. But if I see your intention and I know your game, then it's just like, okay, like, just let me say this. Since you wanted to bring it, savvy, and people don't say anything. And it's like, it kind of makes me a little bit perturbed, I gotta admit, because it's just like, well, I actually do like talking. I don't talk much because I'm more of an observational person, but I'm just like, okay, well, hey, if you want to talk shit, like, okay, well then I can do that too. We don't have to talk about like, exciting conversations. Like we can talk about this, but then you guys shut the fuck up when I have something back to say. So just like, well, fuck. That's crazy. And then y'all go and bitch and cry about it. So I'm like, but you started this. You started this. It's just, oh my God. Oh my goodness. If you know, you know. But it's just like, it's crazy. But yeah, this is my equivalent to, I'm not expecting this video to be as special as a letter to Birmingham. I'm just comparing it and using it as an example, as like sometimes you do have to address some of the people who just really needs to know their fucking place. It's giving, hold on, it reminds me of this really funny voice from TikTok. Or what? Like, you feel me? Like, yo, I don't have to do this every time. But like, let me just not let me. I'm just gonna have to say just, this thing so you guys actually know. This is an example. You feel me? Because again, I like to show examples. So I'm a little bit litigious. So I just want to show you, exemplify, like, okay, this is why you would have an idea of why people don't want to really say something to me, even though it's like why people don't want to say shit when they want to speak shit. Like if you want to say something or you have a disagreement, that's fine. We can disagree. We can agree to disagree, or anything like that. As you can see, and as you have seen for some time, I'm not the kind of person that needs to get into my feelings when it comes to any kind of grievances, or even if you like. I've always been open to constructive criticism, but I'm not that picking kind of person. Like I don't accept that. Like that's crazy, especially when you are severely flawed as fuck. I'm just like, no, I believe that I am perfectly perfect. So I don't mind being that. I've told you about myself. So because somebody grew up in a very because somebody grew up with a very nitpicky mother, and I'm not talking about myself, they feel compelled to project that abuse to me and to other people. And that's why, I like let that person know exactly like what my boundaries are. And it got to the point where they needed to say that behind my back. And I was like, okay, look, because they were also criticizing and being mean to people that were like in their family, just strangers. And I'm like, yo, like, what? You should look at yourself. Like, yo, stop that. Stop that. Okay. You can still be loved. You can still be appreciated. Like, why are you feeling, why are you exhibiting a lot of insecurity right now by putting down other people? Like, you should really just focus on yourself, and anything that you can't do well at, you should be okay with. Okay. God damn. And that's goddamn. Like, GAHD. Damn. Okay, so here we go. It's like, oh yeah, can't keep a relationship. Well, okay, so here we go. Or I want to say what's the part where it's like can't keep a job, and it's just like no, I can if the job interests me, if the job is respectful enough. It really depends on the standards of the job, and also you really can't talk considering you yourself was a person who likes to do like contract positions, and and I have this text message between her where she got let go from a like right before she had quit from pardon me, the traveling nursing thing. She had got let go super early from a position I was in North Jersey because I was gonna go visit her during COVID, and they was like, no, him they let me go, and I was just like, oh, that's a shame, and it was just like, oh wow, that's shocking. Like you seem like you were an exemplary employee. I would imagine by your work ethic because you were inspired by my work ethic. So, and she was just like, I know, right? But you got let go. So it doesn't really seem like it seems like you're the one who can't keep a job. You can't even really keep this relationship basically from what I hear, since you had to triangulate your information about like since you had to triangulate your insults to me. I also heard on the same grapevine that you are having troubles in your relationships and not just your marriage. And it just seems really kind of like projecting when you're talking about like not keeping a job. And sweetie, you were doing everything to try to like fuck up my position at my job by slander and lies and trying to cultivate a crowd of bullies that are smiling in my face and in the group chat and watching me on surveillance cameras. And yet I'm still employed. In fact, I got a raise, the increased statement letter on Friday. So I'm just like, I just don't know. It's just crazy. Like, yo, it's giving hater. It's obviously getting hater and projection. Obviously, like I know it, people know it, and I'm not letting you. I'm not letting you off. You're the kind of person that would probably like, laugh it off or something like that to save face. But it's just like, girl, no, stupid. Okay. Thank gosh. All right. What's the next one? Yeah. Yeah, because like with contract positions and staffing agency, it's not like when you go through different jobs, it's not because you were let go. It's because you were giving a contract. So it can be like 3 months to 6 months. Because I forgot to mention to people who probably like what staffing agency or something like that. Because I know that there are different age groups that are watching me. So if you were ever interested in that, when it comes to staffing agencies, they'll give you either it's not always a permanent position. It can be a permanent a contract temporary position where you can do anything from 2 weeks, or you can do it from 6 months, or you can do it for a few years. And it can be a temp to perm position where you work and the person likes your work ethic so much that they make you a permanent, or they asked you if you want to be permanent at this position. That's happened to a lot of positions that I had, and and I only accepted that maybe once or twice. I think maybe twice. So yeah, twice. Sorry. uh, no, 3 times. 3 times a lady. But I was offered 3 times, but I only accepted two. So yeah, what is the other thing. So just so we're savvy, you got fired, sweetheart. My contract just got expired. Okay, expired, expired. Okay. All right. What's the next one? Can't keep a relationship. Ooh, yeah, no, no, no. I don't stick in relationships that don't fit with my standards. Okay. I have had people, dated people that were just, we didn't click. And the thing is that people like to do the whole breakup to make up thing, kind of like the whole merry-go-round situation. And I was just like, yeah, you may say that, you may try to break up or we may break up and with the expectancy that you might want to try to, circle the block. And I'm just like, yeah, no. So if there's ever a moment where somebody were thinking or considering about like, hey, let's give this another go. And it's just like, yeah, no, no. To my I would say to my right and to my honor and to my standard, I would say that I am the person who has done like the breakups makeup, but I was in one relationship. I don't do that with any other relationship, and I don't do that with the relationship that I had did the breakup to makeup relationship anymore. So it's just like no. You, however, are different. Okay, you still haven't learned. You still haven't grown up, and you are just that's again that's your insecurity. Um, that's your standards. It's pretty low, and yeah, I I'm I won't pray for you, but I do hope that you find yourself a brain where where you would think where you would think better for yourself, like when it comes to not trying to baby trap somebody and trying to threaten or hold over somebody a relationship in order for them to stay with you. I gotta say, that just puts me in a better position to say that like I don't like to be baby trapped, vice versa, and I don't want to baby trap a guy. Because I've had guys try to baby trap me, and I'm just like, nope, the pill, plan B. I don't even like pills, but I swear to God, I will be like a pelican with a fish. I would like trying to just like swallow that bee down. Cause ain't no way. Ain't no way. And yeah, so again, when you say can't keep a man, sweetheart, you should really humble yourself because you'd have to remember, oh child, will things get easier for you? Because remember when I had to show you this video of your nigga, my ex, at my doorstop, um, my porch, and he wanted to establish a connection. So, but I was just like, like, hold on, here we go, because it's you need a reminder. No, I got you, bro. I got you. So, this ain't your nigga. Remember that? That's your nigga, right? Hey, Shalice. It's like, yeah, like, because that wasn't the person who I wanted to have back in my life, and I haven't seen that person in years, in years. So this, I mean, excuse me, I haven't seen that person. I haven't seen that person in person in years. I saw him via obviously on Facebook Messenger because before I knew how deep into the situation because I knew that was being hacked, and the response that I got from his adoptive father just seemed off. So I contacted David so I can get help about like hacking information because I was being hacked on my phone. So I was like, yo, how will I know to protect my phone in this that, and the third? And I have communication from here on my Facebook, and he provided me video, and I also have it on the Love Bees Honey channel. I love these honey channel. I love these honey. Love these honey websites. Excuse me, that's so rude. First, hold on. Boom. Okay, so wait, hold on. So hold on. I forgot to show you guys just to be valid. Okay, so this was July 27, 2022. I just didn't want to show you like the whole entire, like, obviously the address. So I had that, and let's go. I'm sorry. So let's, oops, let's do that. And also let's do, wait, info. Okay. Bam, bam. Hold on. Bam. Okay. Okay, hold on. So let's just, hold on. God, this is so weird. Bam. There's some information here that's in the comment private. So I mean, obviously. Okay, so let's just pause this. Pause for the cause. Pause for the cause. And I know people are probably like, "Girl, don't be showing." Like, no, you guys already know where the fuck I am. A lot of you people, and the government has literally made no fucking So yeah, no. And I do like I am the kind of person who has like the whole validity kind of situation. So yes, just see from right here. It says Vivint, July 27th, 2022 at 6 p.m. And yes, and it has his face. So I just want to put this out here. It's still playing. Um, again. So yeah, so bam, 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 bam. Vivint. Hey, Shalice. Yeah, this was him, and I just wanted you to just kind of know exactly. But he was asking for us like to talk and stuff like that, and was alluding to wanting to come in. I was just like, no, like I haven't seen you in years, and all of a sudden, like you want to come to the house. Now you want to come to the car. Like, no, we're not doing that. In fact, that will also be something that I'll be sharing later, because again, I'm tired of this situation where I've done nothing to you guys. So this was really fucked up that you had cameras in my house. You've exploited me. You're still exploiting me, and you're trying to have people eerily talk about how we're destined to still be together when you've had your dick nastily, and somebody who I grew up and knew from the fucking third grade, and somebody who like a copycat, a creepy ass copycat who talks down on me but copies me and is like creepily trying to block every opportunity that I have to try to move on. Like, do you know how many cute guys there are outside? But you just want me, you just try to want to make unnecessary drama about me with somebody who I haven't seen in years, besides like that one or two times, like that time right there, and then November or December of 2021. No, it was 2022. So it was in 2020. Yeah. Shit. So even before then, it was like, yeah. So from December 2020, that's when I last like, saw him on fucking like social media. You ugly, insecure bitch. Like, that's so fucking pathetic. That's really fucking pathetic that you have to include me in the conversation. You and the half sister, you sister wives need to worry about the many other heifers that he sleeps with, because honestly, it's not me. It's not me. This is really fucking pathetic. Okay, bad. Okay. Oh my god, this is just. It doesn't matter if you like, you think that you're bothering me by wanting to still stay in my life, but sweetheart, the way how I'm identifying you right now, anytime when you want to mention me, they can refer to this content and other content just to show and remind them of how pathetic you are. You needed to know your place, and you should have shut up a long fucking time ago. You should have never fucking crossed me. I have done nothing. I have literally have fucking receipts of me gifting you things up until like, but right before I had cut you off. like premium things, premium things that cost money. And while you try to breadcrumb me, like little fucking like a shirt from, if I give you like a Fenty robe that's like $50, you would try to do something by giving me like a I don't know, like an Amazon shirt that was like 15 bucks. And yet you have all that money. Is you would try to say something like, oh, to save your ass, you would probably say something like, oh, but it's a thought that counts. No, you were just trying to be a condescending bitch. Like when we went to California and you try to give me a used mug. Like that's you were trying to make me feel low. And I told you that. Like I was just like, this is disgusting. I was like, no, I would never do that to you. That's so fucking gross. And when your mom had passed it off to me, I was just like, this is used. No, thank you. Like this is just fucking homely. Like that's wow. That was another sign. Don't be like, oh, she was sensitive. Like, oh, she's being too sensitive. No, bitch. Like I saw right through you. You really, I'm telling you, once you know the situation of like once an ugly person dates an attractive person, like their ego goes all the way up. Come on now. We see that with guys. How many times have we seen ugly guys date hot looking women and the ego goes skyrocket? And then they treat on the beautiful woman, and the beautiful women are fucking frantic or crying their eyes out because it's just like, hey, look, like what the fuck happened? And it's crazy because for a lot of these women, I can definitely say you don't find those guys initially attractive, but then they try to, emotionally manipulate you in order to date them. And then you give them a chance and then they disappoint you. And it's like, okay, well, lesson learned. I'm going to go about my way. No. Unfortunately, they try to make your life worse by trying to go out of their way to fuck with you and try to make you think that, oh no, you still need to be attracted to me. No, 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 no. And I'm talking about another ex this time. Another ex, which is very fucking pathetic. Like, stop this shit. Stop this. This should be embarrassing for you. It really fucking should. You put me through a whole lot of shit and y'all try to laugh at me, but y'all the fucking embarrassment. Every day you wake up and try to make my life miserable, but it seems like you have all this money and you're not content with just living your life and doing and enjoying your things. You have to try to have my name in your mouth. Bitches, y'all so fucking miserable and ugly inside and out. Pathetic. Oh my god. Yeah, for real. For real. So when you're talking about like things about like can't keep a man, sweetheart, these are people that I don't want to keep. That is the point of having like a healthy idea of what a good relationship should be. I don't mind, meeting somebody and having them exit out my life. Apparently, because if you guys felt differently, then you wouldn't be. I mean, if you guys felt the same, then you guys wouldn't be on my fucking ass and be so fucking codependent on me. Not even codependent, dependent on me and on my energy. Right? Right? Come on now. Now, and for you to try to flex about how you have I guess like solid situations and you're talking about how supposedly I can't keep a relationship. It just seemed like really embarrassing that your man and your other love interest was over here, like like they're still stalking me and they're still beating off their dicks, so I hear 2 images that they had to see on surveillance cameras. Like, shouldn't that be fucking embarrassing that you're tethered to somebody who still is longing for me? And it's weird also because like I'm not giving them anything or I'm not doing anything intentionally to encourage those manners. And shouldn't it be even more embarrassing? Like, shouldn't it be even more embarrassing that you have you supposedly are like what is it? I mean, you're a loudmouth bitch, but you don't just use it for talking behind people's back and lying, but you use it for low jobs and being on your back and stuff like that. And I'm just like your sex is not enough, the kids are not enough, the money's not enough, and that they're still over here trying to like lust about me. Both of them. And again, I don't want that. I have not done anything. So before you can honestly say some things or try to talk shit about what it is that I can't keep, sweetheart, you're just projecting because clearly you can't keep the attention of people who you have to threaten in order to, keep eyes on you. Again, that's pathetic. You know, maybe no. I don't care about you anymore. I was gonna say maybe I should buy you a sweater or something like that. But I don't care about you. Ah. So what is it? Dress? Yeah. So and all right, so other people were trying to like, obviously when I speak up for myself, they're saying, hey, look, maybe you should try to overcome heartbreak and heal. And I'm like, that's kind of advice that's that latent kind of advice because obviously I'm minding my own business and I'm in my own lane. It's you bitches that have to come over here to try to tell me something that I've already established and exemplified and have that genuine kind of a condition for years and years and years. So either you're stupid, you're deaf, you know, you're not catching on, you're intentionally trying to miss the point. Either way, you're giving hearing aid, bitch, pretty much. It's just like, correct, grandma. You're obviously representing the side of the elderly. And I respect certain elderly as much as I respect also certain young people and also respect certain peers. But it's just like I to you, I have to talk to you like some type of latent bitch that just kind of caught up like at the last minute. Like, oh, this is what we're talking about. Yeah, 5 years ago, 5 years ago, and for some like 2, 3 years ago when I cut them off. Like, you really late, bitch. The fuck. So when you say something like, oh, why don't you overcome heartbreak and heal? I'm just like, well, first off, these are relationships that I needed to have heal from. Okay, like been there, done that. You feel me? So like we're over that. We're so fucking over that. You need to catch up. You need to catch up for just moments where it's just like heaven forbid, what you're trying to do is offer a service of being like a tarot reader or a guide, a life coach, a counselor, because you're your awareness is shit. Okay. First off, yeah, your awareness is shit. Obviously, you're saying that you need to go back to class. Third, you're saying that you have like you're saying that you're disabled or you're like you lack. God, how should I just say this? You're old. You're an old decaying crone. You're establishing symptoms of of like Alzheimer's or some shit. Like basically, you don't have the functional capabilities. This shit is like delayed responses. Okay, I would be like, yo, hey, look, me and Scott, we broke up, and you guys are like 10 years later. Hey, what's going on with you and Scott? I'm like, sweetheart, we divorced 10 years ago. What? Like that's the kind of shit where it happens. Where it's like you're looking at me and you're telling me something that I already decided and I already knew. Something I was mentioning earlier. So yeah, um, ah, so that's what my pew pew bang bang because here's your pew pew trying to like make comments or trying to like act like you're fake sympathetic, and I can see right through that bullshit. So it just calls out your inadequacies as a human being. Oh, what am I about to do right now? I'm about to just kind of listen to some people make some out of pocket comments, and so I'm just gonna give it to you from the rip. Okay, so boop, 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 boop. I mean, we're already just giving you some replies, but I think I'm kind of on a roll here. I want to see like how harder we can go, cause bitch, you be trying it, bitches, you be trying it, yeah, for real, for real. Oh my god, I forgot how fun this was. Putting you in your place. And so now you're probably gonna have to resort to, either talking behind my back again. I mean, obviously that's what you always do, just talk behind my back and make up some shit. Like, well, then she had to do this. And again, it's giving what is it? With your bitch ass. With your bitch ass, right? That's what you do. You just very like with your bitch ass. So I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna pause it, and then I'm gonna reiterate what's said. I'm gonna say, let's see how far we go. Hold on. First, let me find the content. Okay, bam and la bam. Let's see. No, don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Okay. Let's see. I would say somebody who wears makeup and attracts eyes and stuff, but doesn't allow love in. I'd say the same thing for you, sweetheart. Again, that's projection. That is projection. The only reason why the person was lured to you, again, was that person was on, grew up in a drug environment. And then on top of that, like, you had to use lies. And then you had to baby trap them. And then you use your connections with your brothers with drugs. I don't know, like, yeah, like you really, oh, and then sex, sweetheart. Sweetheart. Oh, and then you can't even like use your own identity. You don't even know what your identity is now. You've been trying to pretend to be somebody else, several different people. Oh my gosh. So that's like, that is a compliment. That is for you to say for you to say some shit about like, I how I wear makeup. Like I like to wear makeup and I like to wear makeup and like I can not wear makeup and I'll still look, decent enough. But I'm not over here trying to get like attention from people. I'm like you. You're the one that's always been trying to get attention from people. You're even trying to get attention from me, bitch, and that's crazy. That's wild. Because if you were happy, you would just, again, you would be quiet. You would try to just focus your time on your marriage and or your relationships and things like that. You wouldn't be trying to bring unnecessary hostilities over here. Like I like being in my trying to cultivate my own community. I don't need to be with you guys, and I don't want to be with you guys, which is why the mediation thing is just gonna be so freaking um like ew. Like seriously, it's gonna be like ew. Okay, hold on, because for some reason it had skipped. So yeah, like you have to do all of that, all of that. I do have content about oof, where your guy, your significant other has used drugs and whatnot, and like you were a heavy drug user too. Pretty sure you stopped, hopefully for the sake of your kids and stuff like that. But I don't know, you just seem really troubled. Obviously, you've been troubled sometimes. In order for you to do this kind of stuff, you just seem like a really unwell person. So I don't, and I still won't give you any type of room to have done what you have done to me, but you definitely are unfit to have the position that you had to, I'm talking about like socially. You don't deserve that position to, you know, um, dictate what people are doing with their lives. And you don't have the sense or the smarts to responsibly, fulfill those tasks without you bringing everybody down along with you. And I warned you guys about that before I even knew who the fuck was like, calling all the shots. Anyway, here we go. What else is next? Imagine doing all this shit and not being genuinely loved. You're loved for the resources. Like, yo, people, before I even knew I was being fucking watched, people are just seem to be just attracted to, I guess, like my energy. And this is insane. But for you, you have to pretend to be me in order to get an inf of that. And yet you had to try to distort and taint my character in order for people to hate me while you were over here wearing my personality and character like a fucking outfit. Talk about not genuine love for you. I'm still listening. So I was just like, okay. I don't know. This person is still talking, so like chattering. So I'm just waiting for me to find something that's like supposed to be like a triggering because you know the tone of somebody's trying to provoke you, like you kind of know what the tone is going to sound like. So it's just like, I'm just kind of waiting for to hear something so I can make like a comeback on it. So I went through videos and I was just kind of like hearing the messages, and so I'm just waiting. Oh, pardon me. So I'm just waiting to like hear something, and then I want to give like my response, like, boom. But that was the only had got one. Yeah, I think that's really crazy considering that I had dated some. This is really insane. Again, wow, somebody so freaking old is playing games like like they're younger than me. Having to say some things like I'm just going after somebody who is only go after people who are in a relationship. Like that sounds crazy. The last relationship that I had was lasted for like a couple of years, and that person was not in a relationship. Like we were in a relationship, and yeah. So that I mean, obviously, obviously that's projection. And even before then, hold on, because I'm echoing. Even before then, that also is a lie. I've mentioned these things to you guys before, where I was 19 and the guy didn't tell me like that he was in a relationship, and I hate when that shit happens. Like that's so. I'm not the only one. There've been many times when women have been um have had relationships where it's just like a guy has lied about not being in a relationship, and I was 19. Plus, I was out and about. for the first time because I was always like one of those house people. Like I was very sheltered. So I've explained that. So I don't need to go back into this again. But yeah. So basically this is another projection because I had dated the person that they're with now, who is and I actually dated the other person who they, mess with on the side. So I'm like, this is really gross. This is really gross that my abusers are all like, have that. It's really gross that you have to fuck people behind me in order for you to feel like good about yourself. Like you're deeply fucking insecure. Anytime when I date somebody, you're the person who wants to go ahead and be with them. Like that's sick. That's really sick and sad and pathetic. You're older than me. Shouldn't you have some type of better kind of values? Shouldn't you be trying to like teach me? Like, girl, please, this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Stop it. Stop it. Like for real. This is nothing but projections. And hold on. Here's the thing about this, and here's the difference between me and you when I talk about like maturity and whatnot like that. When I found out about you and my exes, which is so fucking gross, I wasn't the person who was like, throwing a whole fucking campaign where it's just like, oh, this woman took my man and this, that, here, and the third. You were the bitch. You were the bitch that gloated about that. You were just like, oh, I'll take you on me. Ew. That's so, you have fucking low standards. That is really fucking pathetic. You were the bitch that literally had to be like, oh, I took her man. Like, what? First, you couldn't keep your lies straight. You were saying that, oh, somehow I was the third wheel, and then you were saying that you took my man, and then this. I'm like, look, the man wants to. I have made this statement public. I was just like, look, I'm the kind of woman who was just like, if you want somebody that I'm with, then you, and he goes with you, that is not my man. Then you go ahead and y'all do your own thing, but not for you. I was making that like a public statement for anybody. I was just like, look, because he messed around before, so I didn't know that that person was you, or it could have been somebody else. But either way, that he did mess around. So I was just like, look, this is like really fucking disgusting. It really is fucking disgusting. And I stay true to that. If anybody has if any man has the enough low self esteem or poor will to sacrifice or bet on our relationship by doing something outside of our relationship between the two of us, then that's his loss. It really is his loss. Like, again, it's actions speak louder than words. So I just wanted to put that down on record. And I'm pretty sure that now there's probably going to be a switch up where this person is going to be like, oh, well, see, like she did this, that, here, and the third. No, bitch. I mentioned it once where I was just like, yo, like you guys and your nasty little diseases that you share between you and your little harem, your little cult situations. That's on you. Okay, that's really all on you. I I let him go a long time ago, so like the feelings are just not there anymore. But for you to try to gloat with that, it's just, it's giving desperate. It's giving desperate. And again, pathetic. It's giving desperate. There was only one person that wanted to try to prove a point, and that was you. Meanwhile, I'm over here like, well, this was like the only real relationship that I had, but it wasn't enough for me to be like in my feelings because I always felt hopeful for like other things. There's so much, girl. Well, I mean, you're always on your back. You sleep around, even though you're still married. It's just like this is really disgusting. I'm there are so many fucking more delicious men out there that I would want to, either not saying have them all, but it's just like, I want to date somebody obviously who's for me. For me. This is just so sad. You bitches. And I thought that I had mentioned, I wrote this down earlier. I was like, I feel like a raindrop that wanted to just land in a body of water, a body of healthy water, and where there's a bunch of women. Basically, it was just an analogy for like me wanting to find my community where women who have standards, but It is dry as fuck out there. When I said that I'm a raindrop wanting to find a body of water, I became disappointed because it is dry as fuck out there. There are so many women that are fucking thirsty, accepting the bare minimum. Just and low tier. I can't. I can't anymore. So these are projections that, whenever you start to say anything about me, it's just projections. I'm still like, oops, ouch. Oh my god, it's 118. It's like it's just a bunch of superficial stuff that's not sufficient enough to like. It's a lot of projections. Seriously, it's a lot of projections. Okay, this is like it's just yeah, it's just a lot of like, passive stuff that are just projections. I'm just oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm watching myself like on a live. I didn't even know this. It's so funny. So All right, guys, I'm gonna go. It's 1:20. If you have stayed up this late, thank you so much. Future me, hi and goodbye. I will see you later. Hopefully, you know, God willing. But yeah, that's see, that wasn't bad, right? For like me to just say that. I really want to say more, but like that wasn't bad, right? I'm just saying what I observed and how it is. So I don't know. Maybe I might try to do this again. Pardon me. Keep working with like either a half sister or something like that. But it's crazy on how a lot of the comments are coming from either just inadequate people, just people hating me for no reason. Like, from male, female, I do not care. But it's just people who obviously can be read the fuck back. I don't even have to know you enough to tell you about yourself. And you should be okay with that, considering that you want to talk about me, right? Right? Okay, that's it. I'm gonna go. All right, good night. But if anybody has gotten any kind of situations or like tips from this, then yeah, go ahead and let it be. Because that's why I wanted to like listen into that video, because I was just like, okay, well then maybe this will be beneficial to somebody who has like one of those helicopter tiger moms or something like that, a helicopter parent, or just like a really awful bully or coworker, at school or even at work. It's just like it's like my metaphorical nuts, or dude, suck my dick or something like that. This I think this is universal information that you can use even if you're at church or something like that. All right, I am sleepy so late, and I really actually have like things to do. So I will follow up with you guys later. Bye. Good night. This is Charlize, and this is my channel. La la la, la 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 la. Ah, 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 ah. Oh yeah, okay, hold on. Bye bye.